Every law I learned collapsed with that single report. I laughed when I first heard it. Our species always laughs before correcting impossible data. We believed reality could not be wrong. Only witnesses could. So we erased the witnesses. That was our first mistake. I am Archivist 7th Claw of the Imperial Observation Fleet. My duty is simple. Record. Analyze. Explain. Nothing escapes logic. Nothing survives outside reason. That belief kept our empire alive for 18,000 cycles. Then humans arrived. At first, they were small, weak, slow, soft. No claws. No armored shell. No venom. No natural weapons worth respecting. Their ships looked crude. Too many exposed engines. Too many welded plates. Too many repairs. An engineer from my world would have died from shame after seeing one. So naturally, I concluded humans were desperate scavengers. Primitive. Resource-starved. Temporary. I filed my report with complete confidence. Humans compensate for biological weakness with reckless engineering. Estimated threat, minimal. The council praised my conclusion. 3 worlds burned before the ink dried. No one understood why. Neither did I. That bothered me. Our enemies always followed patterns. Raiders stole supplies. Conquerors captured infrastructure. Religious fanatics destroyed symbols. Machine civilizations harvested metals. Every species wanted something predictable. Humans did not. They attacked impossible targets, then ignored valuable ones. They destroyed military shipyards, left food depots untouched. They invaded prison moons, then abandoned them. They captured dying colonies, only to evacuate civilians. I recorded every event. None fit any strategic model. So I reached another logical conclusion. Humans simply lack discipline. Primitive minds often appear random. Randomness is not intelligence. I truly believed that. Until I watched them fight. Observation Station Kesh floated beyond the border. Far enough to remain neutral. Close enough to witness history. My sensors counted 8 Imperial battleships. Perfect formation. Perfect shielding. Perfect firing angles. Nothing survives that formation. Then one human vessel appeared. Only one. It was ugly. Scarred. Its hull looked older than my grandmother's bones. Half the armor plates did not match. One engine emitted blue plasma. The other glowed orange. That should have been impossible. Its weapons barely registered. Mass. Insignificant. Heat. Erratic. Power output. Laughable. The officers around me relaxed. Some even joked. One requested refreshments before the battle ended. I made another note. Human confidence exceeds actual capability. Then the ship accelerated. Not quickly. Not dramatically. Just forward. Straight into the Imperial formation. No evasive movement. No tactical maneuvers. No attempt to survive. My translator searched human combat doctrine. It found nothing. Our tactical computers predicted destruction in 4 seconds. The prediction was correct. The human ship exploded. Completely. Nothing remained. I felt satisfied. Reality had repaired itself. Then every Imperial battleship opened fire. Not at enemies. At empty space. The fleet turned against itself. Formation dissolved instantly. Missiles collided. Shield harmonics overlapped. Targeting systems identified friendly vessels as threats. Within 19 seconds, 6 battleships were crippled. 2 were gone. No human ship existed. No weapon remained. Yet destruction continued. Someone whispered behind me. Who are they shooting? No one answered. I assumed computer failure. Massive electronic warfare. Hidden drones. Stealth technology. There had to be an explanation. Humans never claimed victory. They simply transmitted one sentence before leaving. Thanks for doing the hard part. Then silence. Our analysts celebrated. They concluded the battle proved human weakness. One ship destroyed. Mission failed. Heavy sacrifice. Poor planning. I agreed. Again. Days later we recovered the battlefield recordings. Frame by frame. Every photon. Every signal. Every particle. Nothing matched. The human vessel had exploded exactly as predicted. No hidden craft emerged. No cloaked fleet appeared. No secret weapons activated. Yet the Imperial targeting systems changed targets simultaneously, without receiving outside commands. Our best scientists blamed radiation. Others blamed cosmic interference. One even suggested collective pilot panic. I rejected every theory. Not because they were impossible, because they were incomplete. Humans remained unexplained. That irritated me more than it frightened me. Then another pattern emerged. Humans always arrived late. Every battle. Every crisis. Every disaster. Always late. Never first. I concluded they were unreliable allies. Poor planners. Slow decision makers. Perhaps their short lifespans made them careless. Again. Wrong. I discovered the truth accidentally. A mining colony near the Gamma Rift requested emergency aid. Pirates had surrounded it. Imperial patrols ignored the distress call. Too expensive. Too remote. Too insignificant. 3 days later, humans appeared. Late. Exactly as expected. The pirates fled immediately. No battle occurred. No threats. No negotiations. Just retreat. That made no sense. The pirate fleet outnumbered the humans 4-1. Their ships were newer. Faster. Better armed. Yet they escaped as if death itself had arrived. I captured one pirate captain afterward. He was missing 2 arms. 1 eye. Most of his courage. I asked why they retreated. He stared at me for a long time. His breathing became uneven. His remaining eye trembled. Finally he answered. You think they came late? Yes. He laughed. Not from humor. From memory. They weren't late. What do you mean? They were already there. Impossible. Sensors detected nothing before their arrival. The pirate shook uncontrollably. They always let you think you're winning. I dismissed the statement. Trauma damages memory. Fear invents monsters. Simple psychology. Another logical explanation. Yet something inside me felt uncomfortable. Weeks later, I reviewed human military broadcasts. Not classified ones. Public ones. Recruitment videos. Ceremonies. Award presentations. They repeated one phrase constantly. No one gets left behind. Strange. Deeply strange. Every civilization abandons someone eventually. It is mathematics. Resources are finite. Lives have value. Leaders make calculations. Sacrifices become necessary. This is survival. Humans celebrated the opposite. I assumed it was propaganda. Every empire lies. Mine certainly did. Then rescue vessel Orion crossed into the Black Nebula. No sane captain enters the Black Nebula. Gravity fractures there. Time behaves unpredictably. Entire fleets disappear. Navigation becomes faith. The Orion entered anyway. Its mission confused me. Recover 1 injured engineer. 1. Not an admiral. Not a scientist. Not a ruler. Just an engineer trapped inside a collapsing research station. The rescue ship ignored evacuation orders. Ignored probability. Ignored survival. I watched in disbelief. 3 escort vessels refused to follow. The Orion continued alone. I confidently documented the outcome before it happened. Human emotional attachment overrides rational survival. Rescue mission will fail. Crew loss expected. I had never been more certain of anything. I would soon discover certainty is the first symptom of ignorance. The Orion disappeared into the Black Nebula. Every sensor failed. Every prediction collapsed. The clouds swallowed light itself. Nothing should have returned. I waited for confirmation of destruction. Instead, I received silence. Silence is dangerous. Silence invites imagination. I dislike imagination. It corrupts facts. 31 hours passed. Then the Orion emerged. Its hull no longer resembled a ship. Half its engines were gone. Armor hung loose like broken scales. One entire side had melted into flowing metal. Yet it was moving. Slowly. Stubbornly. Alive. I concluded the engineer had certainly died. No rescue vessel could survive that damage and still protect a passenger. Again, I was wrong. The engineer walked down the loading ramp carrying a toolbox. He apologized for delaying repairs. The rescue crew laughed. I stared at the recording for hours. No celebration. No speeches. No medals. Only exhausted people helping each other unload damaged equipment. The engineer hugged the captain. The captain complained about the repair bill. Everyone laughed again. I marked the reaction as psychological instability. There was no better explanation. Then something worse happened. The Empire declared humanity a strategic threat, not because they had conquered worlds, not because they possessed superior weapons, because they could not be predicted. Nothing terrifies generals more than uncertainty. I attended the War Council. The Grand Marshal stood beneath a projection of human territory. So, he announced, we remove the variable. Thousands of commanders approved. I remained silent. Something felt incorrect. Not morally. Logically. Every equation involving humans produced impossible answers. Still, the invasion began. 9 fleets. 400 warships. Enough firepower to extinguish civilizations. Our target was a frontier colony. Simple. Small. Poorly defended. The perfect demonstration. Human scanners detected us. No fleet responded. No defensive line formed. No evacuation. The colony remained strangely calm. I smiled. At last. Human confidence had finally become fatal. The first bombardment order was issued, then canceled. Not by us. By the Grand Marshal himself. Everyone looked toward him. He was staring at an incoming transmission. No encryption. No threats. Only a child. A human child. She looked directly into the camera. Behind her stood damaged buildings. Smoke drifted across the sky. She smiled. My dad says you're scared. The bridge erupted in laughter. Even I found the statement absurd. Our fleet blocked out the stars. We carried enough weapons to crack continents. Why would we fear them? The child continued. He says scared people make mistakes. The transmission ended. The Grand Marshal ordered the attack. Our weapons charged. Then alarms exploded across every flagship. Not from enemy fire. From inside our own network. Communications vanished. Navigation maps changed. Supply reports disappeared. Entire databases became blank. No virus. No hacking signatures. Just missing information. I concluded human cyber warfare had finally revealed itself. Engineers searched desperately. Nothing. Every backup matched the corruption. Someone whispered the impossible. They erased history. That was nonsense. History cannot be erased. Only records. Old supply routes no longer existed. Friendly outposts were gone. Fuel depots had never been built. The invasion stalled before the first shot. I blamed sabotage. Surely human spies had infiltrated us decades earlier. They had simply waited for us to erase it ourselves. They understood dependence better than we understood strength. That realization lingered. Like poison. The invasion resumed anyway. Generals rarely retreat from pride. We entered the frontier system. No resistance. No fleet. No mines. No defense satellites. Nothing. Empty space welcomed us. The Grand Marshal declared victory before reaching orbit. That confidence lasted 12 seconds. A single transmission appeared. No video. Only audio. A calm human voice. If you're hearing this. Static. You're exactly where we wanted. The stars moved. At least I believed they moved. Our fleet had actually drifted. Very slowly. Almost invisibly. Straight toward the system's dying sun. Its gravity had been changing for centuries. Human navigators knew. Our maps did not. Panic spread instantly. Formation shattered. Engines ignited. Ships collided. The star erupted with violent plasma waves. 3 cruisers vanished. 2 carriers lost shields. Dozens of escorts spun helplessly into expanding radiation. No human weapon fired. The sun killed us. Humans had merely introduced us. I insisted this was coincidence. A lucky accident. No species could plan centuries around stellar decay. Then recovered human records proved otherwise. Their astronomers had monitored that star for generations. Not to avoid it. To use it. They had built their colony there because one day someone would attack. I stopped making confident conclusions. Fear had quietly replaced certainty. Weeks later, I received new orders. Observe the human flagship. Do not engage. Do not communicate. Simply watch. The vessel appeared beyond a gas giant. I expected something glorious, elegant, intimidating. Instead, I saw another ugly ship. Scratches, patchwork armor, old engines, visible welds. The Empire identified it as the Last Light. An absurd name. Its weapon count seemed average. Shield output mediocre. Mass surprisingly low. Nothing justified its terrifying reputation. I almost believed our earlier assessments again. Then another fleet arrived. Not ours. Not human. A devourer swarm. I had studied them. Living ships. Endless hunger. No diplomacy. No mercy. They consumed planets. Even the Empire avoided direct confrontation. There were thousands. The Last Light stood alone. I calculated survival probability. 0. The devourers charged. The human ship did not retreat. It accelerated. Straight toward extinction. Again. Always forward. Always impossible. I finally understood the pattern. Or so I believed. Humans were addicted to sacrifice. They threw themselves into death because they lacked fear. Primitive. Emotional. Glorious. Completely irrational. I whispered my conclusion aloud. They're willing to die. An old intelligence officer beside me slowly shook his head. His voice barely escaped. No. They're willing to make death follow them. The Last Light vanished into the swarm. The stars themselves disappeared behind living ships. Then every long-range sensor screamed at once. Not because the human vessel had been destroyed. Because something inside the swarm had become afraid. And for the first time in my entire life, I heard an army of monsters retreat.